All right, Rob, let's get to it. The news of the day, it just broke. LeBron James, now we know he'd been out supposedly with COVID. And today, and that was just a few days ago, and the thinking would he be out was that he'd be out for 10 days or at least close to that because he had to do a double negative test within 24 hours. And I was texting with someone close to LeBron, Rob, when this broke. And the person never confirmed to me that he had COVID. Mm-hmm. And he just seemed baffled. He was like, look, I mean, not just that LeBron feels fine. A lot of people that get COVID, some do feel fine. But he just wasn't sure. He was just like, this is strange. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, what's kind of going on? Which was odd to me because, again, I was like, well, he obviously has COVID. But they apparently, when LeBron flew back home to L.A. from Sacramento, they kept doing tests on him, and they kept coming back negative. And now he obviously has done his 2 negative tests. And the NBA has said that apparently he was not a positive. So it was a false positive. Think about that, right? Of all the people in the league, this is Rob G, is this the first false positive that's been public with the NBA? Because, yeah, it's the first one for all, Rob. How incredible is that the first false positive is the face of the league?
No, I agree.
That's strange.
And if I had tickets to that Knicks-Lakers game a couple days ago, I want a refund.
Man.
I mean, I'm pissed.
That one wasn't he was suspended.
That was a suspension.
Yeah,
right,
for the Isaiah
right.
Stewart situation.
Right. I know it was back-to-back almost. Right, okay.
Right. And then they did play Sacramento again.
Right.
And they were able to win. Right. But here's the thing, Rob. What if they had lost? And we don't expect it to come down to one game with the Lakers to get in the playoffs. But what if they had lost and it did come down to that?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you could say is that he's not the false positives happen. That's why there's a thing called a false positive because it can happen. And they even say that with tests. You got to be careful. Even I've seen all kinds of tests, Chris, like it's got to be retested and you got to get another one. You know what I mean? Before you say you have this or you don't for sure, because sometimes those things happen. But for Lakers fans, it's good that he'll be back.
And good for him. I mean, we look, some people get COVID and it's not a big deal. Others get it and it runs them through the ringer. So you don't want to hear anybody has COVID. So I'm happy for LeBron.
I'm with you.
And glad he doesn't have
it.
it.
No one.
For his health,
we went through it.
Basketball.
We've lost some loved ones. We lost some friends. I just, if you can avoid it, avoid it.
Yep, absolutely. So now, Rob, the league did respond with thinking that LeBron's out on Friday against the Clippers. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard isn't there. The league took the Lakers-Clippers game off of national television.
But is that the league's call or ESPN's call? I don't think that's the league's call.
ESPN, I'm sorry.
Right.
They're in cahoots. I don't know.
No, I know, but I don't
exactly
think
has the final say. But let's say it's ESPN. And they put the Suns and the Warriors, the 2 top teams in the league record-wise, who just played, was it Tuesday night? Great game. And they are putting them back on their rematch Friday night instead of the Lakers. Because the Lakers, even without LeBron, they got star power with Westbrook and Anthony Davis, and now you throw LeBron in there, and the Clippers
and
still
Carmelo.
have Paul George.
They got stars. Yeah, how many guys we just talked about, Chris, on the top 75?
Right. I mean, Carmelo's a little bit of a, he's more of a role player at this point. But, yeah, he's still Carmelo Anthony. But do you think that ESPN or the league or whoever made the call made a mistake?
I think it's a mistake. I think it's an overreaction. They had the great matchup on Tuesday night. That was a game people wanted to see. I'm not saying that people won't watch it if it's on, but to X out Los Angeles and act like Los Angeles isn't a big player or people aren't interested. Guess what? People like to see a train wreck too. I hate to break it to you.
That's your argument?
Yeah, that's my argument.
The Lakers are a train wreck.
Yes,
they
want to see like what's going on in L.A. How come this isn't working with LeBron and Westbrook or whatever? I'm just saying to take the Lakers off in the first week in December, this ain't like the game between Golden State and Phoenix is going to determine the top seed in the Western Conference, and we're in April. I get that. They just played a couple days ago. This is an overreaction. This is doing too much. It ain't that important. They're not going to set an all-time record for television ratings on a Friday night on ESPN. I hate to break it to you. I'm not saying people won't watch it. They won't have a choice. If you want to watch basketball Friday night, and that's the national game, just like if the Lakers and Clippers were on, people would have watched it. So I just think that, it's a slight to LeBron, a slight to Los Angeles.
Well, no, it's not a slight to LeBron.
Yes,
he was out. He was out. When
he's in.
They thought he was out. They wouldn't. Yeah, now he is, but the decision's
I don't know
been made. I don't know if they'll go back. No, when they made the decision to go to the Phoenix game, it was LeBron was out. So it has nothing to do with it.
But are you sure that even if LeBron was in? Even if LeBron was in?
I mean, I wasn't in the meetings, but my point is the ruling came down.
No, I get
after
that.
LeBron was out. So it has nothing to do with him other than, it's not a slight on him.
But
maybe a slight on Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook, Paul George.
But I'm saying that because those two teams are hot, that maybe they would have tried to do it anyway.
I don't think so.
Because the Lakers and Clippers, they feel, even though it's the number 2 TV market in the country, they would rather
They're not taking LeBron off.
Are you sure that?
Look, again, I wasn't in the meetings. I don't know 100%. But there's no way you're taking the face of the league off. I'm sorry. I just don't believe that. No, they wouldn't have taken LeBron.
I think that the way it is, I don't know. How great were the ratings Tuesday night? Do we know, Rob?
I don't know, but look, my feeling, Rob, is that I'm fine with it. Because, I like watching the Lakers play, even without LeBron. You made a point that is relevant. People like watching a train wreck. I'm not looking at it as a train wreck. I'm looking at it as I want to continue to see how Russell Westbrook fits in with the Lakers. Anthony Davis, how he plays without LeBron. Obviously, if LeBron is there, it adds even more spice to it. How do LeBron and Westbrook fit together? And they're one of the better teams in the league. I still believe that, even though their record's poor, because LeBron's been out half the season. So I'm with you. Look, if it was Lakers Clippers Friday night, I'd be fine with it and I'd be tuned in. But if it's Golden State and Phoenix, I'm still tuned in. In fact, I Golden State to me, and not just because of Steph Curry, it's the way they play. They're the funnest team in the league to watch to me because they play a free-flowing 5-man basketball style. Obviously, Steph is shooting crazy shots. Draymond's doing his thing as a great defender and playmaker. Jordan Poole's emerged. Andrew Wiggins, I like his game as a third, fourth option. So I like watching Golden State and a rematch with Phoenix. I do think it's big. Obviously, nothing's decided in December. But if Phoenix beats them again, it's a statement. It's more of a statement than could be made in the Lakers-Clippers game. And so I hear you. If they hadn't made this move, I'd have been fine watching the Lakers-Clippers because even without LeBron, there's plenty of star power. But, man, I got no issue whatsoever. In fact, if you give me my choice, I'd rather watch Phoenix Golden State than Lakers-Clippers.
Yeah, I watched it already Tuesday night. It did really well, 2.4 million viewers. The best regular season game in almost since 2019, and that makes sense because going into that
games have been rated better
but going
than Lakers,
into that game with the Suns winning 16 in a row, that's definitely. Now as you go to the next one, I doubt they'll have the same ratings or they're as good, but
it's a Friday night. I don't know if that helps, hurts.
Friday night TV is not great.
Yeah,
that's not. People go out. I just don't think that the same game, the same two teams 3 days later is the way you normally want to do it. I just think
I disagree.
Some of the luster falls off of it.
I actually think there's more luster because now Phoenix, assuming they win their next game, I don't know if they play tomorrow, I guess. Yeah. No, they'll be on a back-to-back. Yeah. They play tomorrow against Detroit. Assuming they win that game, they'll be on now an 18-game win streak. They just beat Golden State to kind of make a statement that we're the best team in the league, not you. And now let's see if Golden State can answer. If they can't, now we're like, Phoenix is definitely that squad. So I actually think it adds a little more excitement.
2 games in a week and the first 20,
like
that's going to determine it?
No, it doesn't determine. I mean, but I'm saying for right now, I don't think it takes away the luster. I think it actually adds to it.